Janelle from the HR best squad. Every single view, no one can take guard. Vision of the crew, unstoppable in your face. All I say, we speak the truth.
Good afternoon, good evening, Jobber Nation. Welcome to another episode of the Jobber Tears podcast. As always, I'm Janelle from HR here with Sir Wilkins and Mrblacc. Before we do get started, I do want to, on behalf of the Jobber Tears podcast network, thank everyone that came out this past Sunday to Legends. It was our first time back at the bar. Wings were flowing, tequila shots were going. But we do want to thank everyone that came out because once again, we are still living in the pandemic. You know, we still every day take a risk coming outside, but you can't, stop your lives from going. But we do want to thank everyone that has supported us during the pandemic, before the pandemic, day ones, and then all of that jazz. So, but we do want to thank everyone for coming out to Legends. It was really good to just see, familiar faces and have everybody come out and, watch some good old wrestling. Hopefully, if the city doesn't decide to, shut down again, hopefully we'll do Hell in a Cell in a few weeks, possibly Full Gear in a few weeks. And, hopefully I would love to do Survivor Series.
Full Gear.
I would love to do Survivor Series. This is my favorite Big Four of the year. And then also to maybe celebrate a certain person's birthday. But once again, thank you to everyone that came out. Before we get started, what's one thing this week that you guys have done, watched? So what's going on?
I just finished watching Cobra Kai. I'm taking my mask off. I don't know my mask is still on. Hold on, I just realized that. I just finished watching Cobra Kai. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to watch Cobra Kai if you haven't watched it already.
Oh my God, why?
So people who haven't watched Cobra Kai or don't know what Cobra Kai is the continuation of Karate Kid, and it takes place about 30 years after Karate Kid. Oh, crack open the energy drink. Crack it open. So anyways.
What flavor this week?
And he burped, so it's a good energy drink.
Orange Fusion.
Does it taste like Kool-Aid?
No. There's no sugar in here. I don't drink stuff with sugar.
But anyways, Cobra Kai. I want to get a couple of points off. First of all, fuck Robbie and fuck Sam. Cobra Kai never dies, and fuck Mr. Miyagi. Your old ass is dead. Fuck you too.
Wait, is he really dead?
I don't know if he's well, not the real life actor, the character I'm talking about.
Oh,
not the actual Mr. Miyagi, not the actual guy who played Mr. Miyagi. What kind of heartless individual do you take me for?
No, I just asked. I don't watch it, so I was just asking. Like, wait, did my nigga die in the show?
They just filmed it. Did you see both seasons?
I've been on
I know it was.
Ago.
So Cobra Kai
was old to me.
So Cobra Kai was on YouTube, and then YouTube Premium. So they had streaming on YouTube Premium, and then Netflix took it over.
Okay.
And then now they're gonna have season 3 and season 4. But the way season 2 ended, I watched season 2 at 1 a.m. I think it was Sunday, and I'm tight. I'm holding back tears. I'm angry. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen Cobra Kai and you like action, drama, suspense, a little bit of romance thrown on top, you gotta watch Cobra Kai. It's gonna keep you at the edge of your seats the entire time. And once again, Cobra Kai never dies. Fuck Robbie. Fuck Sam.
Wow. You heard it first. All right, Mrblacc, what's one thing you've watched or seen or done this week to let the viewers know what's going on with you?
Did a couple interviews.
Okay.
That's it.
Who'd you interview?
Jay and his girl.
Wait, who's Jay? Which Jay? There's a lot
Jay,
of Jays.
Jay that used to be with the dreads?
Yeah.
He cut him off? Okay.
Oh,
Someone pay attention to our fans.
Well, there's a lot of Jay.
I'm sorry. There is a lot of Jay. First of all, people call me Jay. So I'm saying
Who the hell calls you
Nobody
Jay?
calls you Jay.
No, there's some people that
I never heard anyone call you Jay.
Okay.
Who calls
there's
you Jay?
Some people that call me Jay.
I hear Nelly.
Yeah.
You nigga. Listen.
Actually, you know what? Mikey calls me Jay. He says Jay.
That's one person.
No, that's just one person I can think of right now.
Well, he's new to the pack.
Exactly.
Yes.
So he's doing new things.
No, but like people would call me Jay.
No, it's I understand, but he's new to the pack, so
Yeah.
he's doing new things.
Okay.
Yeah.
But before that, I never heard anybody call you Jay.
Nobody.
Jay sounds really manly.
Yeah.
Once again, fuck Sam, and fuck Robbie.
I heard
God.
Nelly, but I never
Okay.
heard Jay.
All right. Well, I mean, okay, that's fair. I mean, I've lived 31 years. People
It's just
call
like
me
it's
Jay.
just like nobody.
And how long did they last?
Exactly.
Exactly.
How many people?
Don't give an expiration date on niggas that call
Prime
me Jay
example.
though.
I didn't say Mikey's not gonna last.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. The Jay is new, but before your 31 years, people who called you Jay aren't around anymore.
Exactly. Like for
Oh,
example,
they're just not around y'all.
Like
who?
like for example, nobody calls me by my government.
No, only me.
And people who call me government before, they're looking like it's either girls I slept with, or there's no one new that called me that. Or
So wait, question. So do you, when you introduce yourself to girls now, do you tell them I'm Mrblacc? So like when y'all together, she calls you Mrblacc?
as a joke, yeah, but majority of girls call me by my government.
Okay.
Only like a few girls that I know I slept with who call me Mrblacc. But overall, that's just their.
Is it like during or after?
Sometimes both.
Okay.
So no matter to me. All depends on the female. All depends on when I meet them. If I meet like a hood chick, they call me Black automatically.
Okay.
If I meet a proper girl who has, a proper upbringing and principles and morals,
She has respect for herself.
yes, they call me that. Or sometimes just to, go with my moniker and my stage name, they call me Mrblacc just to be funny. But yeah.
Okay, so you had an interview with Jay and Sable. That's her name.
Yeah.
Shout outs to them for coming through. They also came through Legends, so it was good to see them. And then who else did you interview this week?
Oh,
Somebody,
Mikey did say that. I do.
See,
you see,
he does.
he's the only one who said it in there. Only one.
Because
No one
he's
else said it.
one of the few that's watching right now, but he does.
Again, he's part of the new Jabba Tears 2020. All right.
He's part of the Friends that's new.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
so he's in the new decade.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
the old
yeah,
decades.
yeah.
Oh, so like anyone before 2020.
Yeah.
Doesn't call
He's
you
part of the new class.
Class of one.
of one person that calls you Jay.
Class of one. That's okay.
Why she say something like, because I am valedictorian of this class? Why she say something like that? I feel like he's gonna say that.
He might sing that.
Not though. You stupid.
He
as hell.
sing?
He does.
His song was
Yo!
playing when he went on the thing.
Yo, I didn't know that was his song playing.
He was
Yeah.
like, meet me in my bed.
He probably did this.
my bed.
No, he doesn't. He's super serious in that video.
Oh, you go,
So-
meet me in my bed.
that's a mad aggressive. If someone told me that, I'd be like, no. Like, whoa. I'm gonna show you the little. It's a cute little video though.
So does he have his shirt open up and he has?
No, he has on like a nice little suit, like how when you wear.
Oh, he's
and
classic.
he cleaned up for the
Classic.
video.
Oh, he did the Isley Brothers.
He brought it back.
He brought back.
He did. He gave
brought
you.
it back.
He gave you 80s. He gave you late 80s R&B. In my bed.
Students, Ruben Studdard. What song he did?
Nah, he did it better than Ruben.
His
Though.
first single. What was his first single?
No, he did it like like Ralph from New Edition.
Oh, okay.
He did it like that.
Okay.
He did like by himself, like
But did he have a cane though? And then he.
No, he never can. Y'all should get him a top hat in the game. He'll fucking kill me.
Did he do did he dance in the rain unnecessarily?
No.
Or did he dance like mad randomly in like?
He, but I couldn't
videos?
see him dancing
No, he's
though.
Yeah, me
definitely
too.
not dancing.
I can't see
He's
him
definitely not
dancing.
dancing.
I can see him dance, do a little two-step.
A little two-step maybe, but like
In the rain.
my
What's
the
guy-
song? Is it on
My guy
Spotify?
is not. Yeah, it is. Actually, his EP is. I'm doing a cheap plug for him. God, his EP is actually on Spotify. So you can actually pull. I don't think that song is on there, but other songs are.
What's his name on?
It's
what's
his name.
Oh wow.
It's nigga's a whole business.
Whole shit.
Hold on, what is it? Michael.
Bostic.
It's a actually good name though, Michael Bostic.
I work with somebody named Bostic.
What's his background?
Blackity black.
Oh, so
Is it on Spotify?
That's
Oh, it's right here.
Oh, is it?
that's
And
massive.
he has a suit.
See, yeah, that's exactly
Oh shit,
how he looks.
Mikey get over 1,000 listens.
There
Let
you
me see.
go.
Let me see.
There
Let me
you
see.
go.
Oh, this is #1 song. Love Until the Sun Goes Down.
I think he's talking
Michael
about that the other day. Yo, he's getting so much play right now. He's going to kill me later. That's so funny.
Love
I can feel it. Yeah. He probably closed his eyes when he said that.
Oh, I'm gonna download this.
See that? Oh, listen, look at that.
Oh, you got his new song, To Infinity and Beyond.
Ooh. Okay.
I will pull it. Yeah, I was so
He definitely closed his eyes and did like this. He definitely did that.
I'm so wait.
So let people listening. Michael Boss is a huge wrestling fan.
Huge
So
favorite.
We'll put his EP on the YouTube
Look. And
description.
Katie actually did the video for him.
Oh, let me see.
Well, then y'all can't see.
Hold on, I just want to hear the in bed remix. Oh, he's looking out the window in the video.
Told you.
But shout outs to Katie K. Can you hear it, Yali?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm shocked he hasn't texted like really, y'all.
Who's the girl though?
Some rando. I don't know.
Who's the girl though?
I don't know. Some rando.
Can somebody tell me who's the girl? She sings really nicely.
No.
Oh, he got his beard lined up.
Let me tell you, he came in Sunday with that haircut. Good boy.
All right, we'll talk about wrestling now.
Okay, yeah. Now we're talking about wrestling. We finished talking about Michael Bostic, but make sure to support
Shout out to
those that support
prolific
you.
new ring attire.
Yo, I really want the baseball jersey. Like, I'm gonna have to talk to bros about how we can get some Jabba
I
want the baseball
I kind of want a baseball
jersey. I think for springtime, like for WrestleMania.
Yer has one.
Oh, so let's talk to Dre about this because I really, really want a baseball jersey, especially now that they're talking about putting WrestleMania next year back in Tampa. So did you guys hear about that? So WWE has been in an ongoing battle with the city of Los Angeles over WrestleMania. What it would have been 30. Well, now next year it'll be 37. So WrestleMania 37 is originally set for Los Angeles, for Inglewood at the new SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, in the hood, by the way. But it's a beautiful stadium. Oh my God, Chargers! I saw that Chargers Chiefs game. I said, oh, I would love to see WrestleMania here. But the mayor and I think the governor as well of California has banned all large stadium gatherings for the remainder of 2020 and possibly some parts of 2021 until we get this pandemic under control. So that kind of puts WWE in between a rock and a hard place because, you know, this year was supposed to be in Tampa, Florida. All systems were go, and then kind of the country shut down and everything became a stall. So they did still do WrestleMania, quote unquote, but it wasn't at not Kobe at all.
Man, that was Shumpert.
Oh, don't do Iman like that.
Just gonna walk in front of the camera.
Yeah. That's a better deal. So this year is supposed to be in Tampa, Florida at the Raymond James Stadium where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play down in Tampa, Florida. But because, again, the pandemic happened, things didn't go that route. So fast forward to now, we're kind of going into Survivor Series season, but technically tickets-wise, we're going into WrestleMania season where typically tickets go on sale in the month of November for WrestleMania. So WWE, Vince and everybody on the WWE side is kind of waiting to, and essentially for LA to cancel WrestleMania because of insurance and money and blah, 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 blah. Because if WWE pulls, then they lose out all the money that, you know, they've already probably put in to renting things and doing things down in California. So they're on that ongoing battle. But the governor of Florida clearly gives zero fucks about people in the world and has like opened up Florida. So that gives kind of the green light for WWE to really do WrestleMania in Tampa again next year. So, question to the table. What are your thoughts on, once again, kind of this redo of WrestleMania in Tampa versus LA? And also the other reason why LA hasn't like canceled yet is because they want WWE to agree to do WrestleMania 38 in LA in 2022. So they're kind of holding them by the balls on this one. But what are your thoughts on, you know, kind of going into WrestleMania season, still kind of like everything's kind of like an imbalance, but, you know, still trying to figure out a way to kind of see wrestling live and in color. So would you rather see Mania in Florida or would you rather see it in LA?
There's, just like Charlamagne says, weird people come from the Bronx and Florida. I'd rather see in LA. All right? I don't want to see weird. No. I'd rather see in LA. It's a bigger city and it's better. But overall, when it comes to this whole, pandemic, I can't say it because we will get banned on YouTube. Honestly, I reach a point with this whole pandemic it is what it is. Like Florida, you got money. And it seems like you don't care. Florida is always something fishy going on with shout out to voting with the ballot in like 2001 with Al Gore and George Bush.
Oh, George Bush, yeah.
There's always
been something.
There's always something with Florida. There's always something with Florida. So, listen, I guess at this point, WWE can do whatever they want, and they can do whatever they want. But will the fans show up?
Absolutely, I think.
No.
I definitely was still until like the country shut down, like I still
will go. Keyword.
A lot of people were still planning
but
on
you're
going.
not going to pack out 64,000 people.
I'll put money on that. They do.
Yeah.
You're not going to pack out 64,000
So
people.
the thing is, too, you have to think also, there's a little background to it, too, with the Raymond James Stadium. So Super Bowl this year, January 2021, Super Bowl is supposed to be in Tampa.
Really?
So they're gearing up to host Super Bowl, whatever number it is, Super Bowl in 2021 already in January, the end of January, beginning of February.
But
and then WrestleMania is supposed to be in March of next year.
But you think 64,000 people could pack that stadium out? You have to include like there's a world around us. You think that all these countries is going to lift up the travel ban to U.S.?
So that was the thing too. So when everything was going to shits, in my mind I was like, well, even if they ban people coming into the States and just people that's in the States already going, I'm pretty confident people will go. I
doubt it. Because, I'm explaining exactly why. Because if you talk to a lot of people, they have kids. They're like older people. Why is it so cold in here? Why am I getting blue? Anyways,
don't die.
You have to take account. Just because we're friends that will go and you travel everywhere, you got to take account for other people. Because let's say let's say a family of 3, right? A mom and a dad and 2 kids, right? Matter of fact, 3 kids. They all WWE fans, right? So the mom might be like, no, we're not going. And the mom, you know what? Mommy said, no, we can't go. We got to watch this. Oh, man, but it's for the safety for the kids.
But then you have those, I challenge that because then you have the same people that have been going to Disney World, that's been going to Universal.
Right.
That's been planning family trips.
I understand that, but
all of that.
I understand that WrestleMania brings people from all across the world. So if you have a limited travel, look at Pac and all these other people from around the world who cannot go to their jobs in the U.S. because there's a travel ban. They can't travel. So it may not pack out 64,000 people. WWE will say, we pack out 64,000 people. And on top of that, you got to count for social distancing and stuff like that. They have to social distance from each other. So you got to explain for that. So would it pack out 64,000 people? No. Unless they lift the travel ban across the world, people could travel, yes. And that would be a factor. If they don't, I doubt them to pack out 64,000 people. And on top of that, you forget, we might get a second wave. It's high time we won't get a second wave because this is during the time that people start to get sick, starting from around November on. People get sick around this time. So everybody who may be able to go, those are possibilities that they could get sick. And you don't want to rich people yo, listen, your temperature's too high. You can't come in there. There's too much factors that factor in to pack out 64,000 people for make it accomplished, for it to happen. So you cannot just account just because of you. For example, if you're too sick to travel and your temperature is over 100, they're not gonna let you in that stadium. What are you gonna do then?
But I wouldn't do that though.
But no. What if the day you wake up, you can't go to the stadium, because your temperature?
But then I can't go.
So you got to look at the factors like this. Stop looking at the sense of me, Janelle.
No, I'm not looking at it as Janelle go. I'm looking at it as fans that have been literally at home, hasn't been to shows, hasn't done anything. And the moment niggas will be like, yo, tickets to WrestleMania go on sale, they're going to go for it.
Right, but look at how many people that, even right now when bars are open, a lot of people still haven't gone because they're worried about that. So, right now, we could say all this crap because flu season hasn't started yet. But none of that hasn't started yet. So it's easier to say what we have to say, but who knows that the second wave of COVID is something like COVID 2.5 and it's stronger.
But hold on. So before I know what you're saying, and I know what you're trying to say right now, But you're not looking at other factors, and that's something that she mentioned. First of all, it's in April. That's next year. So we don't know what's going to happen between now and April. That's one. Number two is wrestling fans don't give a fuck. And I don't think you fully understand that, but if you've been watching like other states, they're doing events and they're doing well. Like a couple of people in the Midwest, in the middle of the country are doing well when it comes to events. Yes, I see where you're coming from, but you're talking about WrestleMania. And let's say there is a travel ban. Let's say there is. The mere fact that Chris Jericho did a concert and he packed it out and it was around that amount of people, I'm pretty sure WrestleMania is going to do the same thing.
And you forget the reports that happened after Ember.
And hold on. The reports did say only 4 people got COVID out of it. I don't know what is true, what's not. So we don't know the exact story. I know you're talking about people getting sick, but the real question, will they be able to pack it out? Yes. I guarantee they pack it out. Does it mean it's the safest thing in the world? No. We don't know what's going to happen from here until next year. Is a second wave supposed to come? Supposedly. I don't want a second wave to come because I want to go back to regular living.
You can't prevent the second wave.
I'm not saying I can prevent a second wave, but to end it right here, there is a possibility that they will probably pack it out if everything goes correct. Because at this point, Florida don't give a fuck.
0 fucks.
They don't give a damn. And then I'm pretty sure a lot of people from Florida, which is a huge wrestling state, are going to come down. Just the mere fact that, like she said, and this was a great point, people have not been at a live event in so long. People are fiending for that. There's stories about, like, a good example about people fiending to go out was Siami. And if people who are listening don't know what that
Steinway.
Hold on. People who don't know what that is, that's the Steinway. Is an area in Queens called Steinway. And it had all outside dining and all outside seating. And people started thinking it was a mini Miami because it was packed to the brim. That the mayor and the governor of New York had to shut it down. And that was like peak pandemic. Right? But I'm just saying if that is happening during peak pandemic, that people were so fiend to go outside, and people were still traveling during the pandemic.
I know mad people traveling.
So exactly. So you saying that is not possible? It is definitely possible because, to be honest, the reason why the numbers haven't completely dropped is because people don't give a fuck.
I mean, all I'm saying is this way, like. It's easy just to predict something that could happen, but literally, who would have predicted 2020? Who would predict that we will have a whole half the stuff that's been going on in this century, in this decade so far, make no sense.
Just this year,
like
I look back at 2019, I'm like, yo, that was lit.
Prime example, like our president redefined what a whole politician is, and opened a whole door, and he made Joe Biden look stupid. Honestly, he did. He definitely made people look stupid. And the fact that he's over here bringing all the rules and people are still want to vote for him. How the fact that the company, matter of fact, America is a damn company. That Social Security company, they basically sell us. That's a whole other story.
That's a whole different topic.
Yo, the fact that he wanted to sacrifice all of us just for freaking votes. So all I'm saying is this way. Yo, honestly, how things is going right now, it could get a lot worse after the whole election. Seriously.
It can, but that's just the kind of like uncertainty I think life right now is. It's like it could go really left or it could go really right.
Listen, all I'm saying is this way. I get what everyone's saying though, but they could literally change their mind next month.
Oh yeah, they can definitely scrap it and be like, fuck it, we're not gonna do anything. You know what I mean?
Nothing. We'll do all of this because it gets worse. Because who knows if the second wave could be worse? Who knows that?
Who knows we in it right now?
Who said it's not gonna get better? Who said we don't know? I think it's thinking positive at this point about the situation.
Cause I want to go
because at the end of the day, like it helps everybody out. It helps everybody out because
just in a mental state. Like, I mean, mentally, like being like quarantined has been difficult for people. Just mentally, not that uncertainty, losing jobs, going through that.
I haven't been quarantined since while everybody was at home. I had to go to work.
No, right, but I had
to go to work in a damn zombie. I feel like a zombie apocalypse.
But even that can mess up with your psyche. And I think I think for everyone, just across the board, you just want some type of positive. You just want some light at the end of the tunnel. And I think them bringing up WrestleMania and saying like, hey, even though California could be on some, like, we can't have it there, only if we do it the following year, but we're going to do it in Tampa. I think some type of hope and some type of light at the end of the tunnel is just, I think, what's needed just in general, because it'll be something you look forward to.
Hope don't pay the bills.
I mean, jobs do.
What?
Jobs do. You work, you pay bills, no?
Next on the docket.
What? I'm talking about hope does not pay the bills. Hope does not. I don't need hope because hope is fragile. And at the end of the day, I see it this way. Like you said, y'all made a great point. Can they pack it out? Cool. But at this point, I don't know no more. Because I literally went from watching stadiums, people playing football in empty stadiums, watching wrestling in empty stadiums. Literally, I'm watching politicians going off at each other. I watch like the government give out free money, but yet Flint don't have clean water to this day. I don't know. That's a whole other case for another situation. Look,
always
2020. Yes, because Flint doesn't have clean water.
We all know that.
And that's the same exact money. It's less to fix Flint water than it is to pay everybody $1,200.
Yo, speaking about Flint, you want to not laugh, but you want to know what's crazy? It came up on my CNN. There were 6 men that have been charged with an alleged plot to kidnap the governor of Michigan.
I don't blame them.
How wild is that?
I don't blame them.
Because
they don't have clean water.
Yo, let's plot and kidnap the governor.
They don't have clean water in Flint. Shout out to Flint.
So
man.
it was when you said that, I was like, oh shit, I think I read something about Michigan.
I don't blame them. I'm not gonna say this on here.
I appreciate you. All right, next thing. Congratulations goes to the new signees, the new class at the WWE Performance Center. A lot of familiar faces for us and those that have been watching Evolve for a long time. As everyone knows, WWE had bought out Evolve a few months ago, and they decided to keep some talent, which is really good. So the new class includes Evolve's names such as Brandy Lawrence. So, like, if you remember her, she was the female in the hot tub with Damian Priest when he won the NXT North American title.
No, I was looking at her face. I was looking at her titties.
Wow. Okay. But if you go back, she also did, was it her and Shotzi? I believe it was her versus Shotzi at Evolve 30, the one that was in Philly. And they put on a match.
That's a better example instead of.
But that was more recent. That's why I said that first. That was recent.
Like, yo, he was with 3 girls in there.
But she was one of them.
Which one?
Well, if you know Brandy Lawrence's face, you know which one it is.
So you should have led with the Shotzi match.
But not everybody might have seen or known, which is why I said that second. There's a method to the madness. I promise. So you have her, you have Kurt Stallion, you have I am super glad Anthony Green got signed.
Who's Anthony Green?
He's in actually him and Brandy Lauren were together. They were in kind of like a little stable. But he's a wrestler, definitely on the indie scenes, definitely in Evolve. But he had the gimmick of like this like Saved by the Bell like type thing, and it was so like I thought it was dope. Like I was just like, and I really thought he was good in the ring too. You also have Leon Ruff. Out of AR Fox's school. Super proud of him.
Yo, super random. Speaking of like recruits, right? This long lines. I was watching TNA the other day, right? I stayed watching TNA Classics.
Good.
You know that Angel Garza was signed in TNA? Like at one point, and he was in the tag team, and he was over because to say he did WWE like rip off his pants, he did in TNA, and then literally a year later, WWE picked him up.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Dang, TNA.
Or even
TNA missed the ball. A lot of people.
What should we call it? Garza, and it goes back to the conversation we had, if not last week, the week before, when we were talking about like families and wrestling. Garza's dad was in WCW. Like I watched an old Nitro a few weeks ago. Dad? Oh, I forgot his name, but the last name was Garza, and I was like,
was he one of the luchadors?
He definitely had on a mask. But I can't remember he was in a tag match. I don't remember who, but I remember when he came out.
I know mask better.
I don't know the mask. That was weeks ago. But I watched it, I looked at
Tiger Mask? You see what I did there, y'all?
No, he's not Tiger Mask.
You see what I did there? You see how I relate two things together? Tiger Mask?
Lord have mercy. But his dad used to wrestle for WCW back in the day. So I thought that was pretty cool. But it goes back to like wrestling and families and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, we had Leon Ruff, Joe Gacy.
I love
Super
Joe Gacy.
proud.
Love Joe Gacy.
Super proud of
I'm just
him
gonna
getting
nod my head and act
signed.
like that. I know who that is.
You do.
He's been
Oh,
on a couple
man,
of
he's
BCW shows.
Yeah.
He's done Battle Club Pro
He
shows.
did. Was it the Monster
Yeah, he was-
match
yeah,
that
he was-
BCW did?
He was on there too.
Oh, okay. I know. Okay. I remember him. Yeah.
And Josh Briggs.
Don't know him. I think I know him, but I don't know him.
Also, indie referee Jake Clemens and NCAA All-American
He better get real benefits.
wrestler Jacob Casper was in the class as well.
They get hooked up when they get signed to NXT. Like
Pay for everything.
Like you get paid to go work out.
Yeah.
Like if it's a 2-year gig, 1-year gig, whatever.
You get your suit. They get you a suit. Like, they give you a stipend for food and all of that.
Bro,
like,
you living.
Honestly, this is why I be telling people, like, yo, some people don't make it out of there and they end up doing other things and then it helped them out because
NXT is college.
Yeah, NXT is basically college, and some people end up, being super senior, like Dawkins. I didn't know this.
Oh, he's like from one of the beginning.
Dawkins been there, and
Longer than most of them.
This is why like, I
Yeah.
get upset when people say he's trash.
Nah.
Because Dawkins been there since Biggie. He was there since I think when Biggie was champion.
What? Okay, so I guess we'll talk about it real quick. Dawkins is not trash.
At all.
And Dawkins is not trash at all. He's great in the ring.
He got better.
He gets better over time. But you also got to understand is how wrestling sometimes works is that it takes time. It takes a lot of time, and a lot of wrestling fans don't understand that.
They don't.
Especially like, yeah, you've been here since Big E, and there's like wrestling fans don't understand that mental psyche that wrestlers go through. Because imagine him starting with Big E and still not wrestling on the main roster. You got to be a strong person mentally to continue pushing.
I mean, that's an entertainment in general.
That's an entertainment in general, but a lot of people don't know that. That's one of the things that people don't understand is that wrestling is also the entertainment business. Regardless of what company you work for or what independent promotion you work for, it's still the entertainment business. And when you see somebody doing better, which you got to be strong mentally. And they can say, oh, he's whack, he's whack. He's really, really, really good.
He's not.
And he does his thing.
Yeah. Like, even when, and you can tell the difference in the level of intensity whenever he gets the hot tag in the match. I get excited. I'm like, oh, shit, like, he's about to go in. But my favorite thing, and it actually was one of my ups this week as a spoiler, but I'll probably pick another one. But low-key, if you have not seen that fucking Skittles commercial,
oh, fire.
that shit
Fire.
speaks so much volumes
Fire.
and the type of push that WWE sees in Street Profits alone. Like, the fact that you have a full-on Skittles commercial with Ric fucking Flair, who is pop culture's, like, wrestling king, and you guys, like, I saw that commercial when I watched Raw, and I was like, at first I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
But
And then I was like, oh my God, this speaks volumes as to the work ethic and the type of level of respect that WWE has for Street Profits. Like, they are the longest reigning Raw Tag Team Champions. You know, that those little things, those little snippets, they all mean something. They all add up to something. But I just think them having the commercial with Rick, I said, oh
big.
shit, like that's huge for me.
By the way, Garza's father's name is Hector Garza.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the name.
Spanish.
He didn't have a mask.
I couldn't remember the name.
The one thing that I learned,
on Nitro.
the one thing that I'm noticing that I'm learning is, I go back and watch mad old school wrestlers. Shout out to the YouTubers. Wrestling GIF, Wrestling Premiere. Shout out to all of y'all. One thing I noticed the pattern is we don't know that Stone Cold was not Stone Cold when he first came.
Stunning Steve.
Like, he was Stunning Steve. He was with Hollywood Blondes. He was with the
he was a maggot tag with Brian Pillman.
Yeah, the Hollywood Blondes. He was in the Dangerous Alliance, and it took him to go to ECW for realize that he had mic skills. He went to WWE. They tried to make him like a ring general, but he really was. But then Stone Cold said, "Yo, let me be me." People don't understand. It took him literally 13 years, probably 10 or 13 years to become the person he is.
But you know what's crazy?
But let me finish. The thing is with us is we see a lot of beginnings of a lot of people. Like, for example, if you turn on WWE, right, and you watch Dawkins from NXT days until now, His weight is different. His swag is different. You feel the confidence in him. It took him a while to, like you said, the mental to get to the way he is. And even where we forget that we was not there for the beginnings of a lot of people's career. Like, prime example, Kane. Kane was not Kane when he first came. He was the dentist. He was fake Diesel. Then he transitioned to Kane.
My nigga was
Some
fake
people
Diesel.
don't even know that he was fake Diesel. Some people just met him as, this is Kane. They met him as a finished product. That's why I tell a lot of wrestling fans, like, yo, let people grow, just like your favorite artist. Like, I seen, what's that dude's name? I seen him from the very beginning. I was like, yo, I seen this man grow. What's that dude's name? I think I went to the A$AP Rocky, not A$AP, A Boogie concert years ago. A Boogie was not A Boogie then. We got A Boogie, and now he's filling our stadiums.
But it's different. It's different because for wrestling, it's a little bit different because, and especially during Steve's time, you don't have a developmental league. You learn how to wrestle and then you go into the indies. It's a whole different ball game, and it's not the same thing at that time. And I understand what you're saying about artists. Like I've been watching The Weeknd since he came out, which is like almost 10 years ago, I think, at this point. But it's just a whole different thing. What's next?
Let's talk about real quick. And we're kind of getting into This Week in Wrestling, kind of a mixture of the two. This past Wednesday on AEW, Chris Jericho, one of my goats, celebrated 30 years in the game. Like, that's my entire life. That's all of our lives. Like, boom. He's just been wrestling 30 years. And, you know, he had a match on AEW, and also he's had video messages from, you know, people from far and near wishing him the best. I caught the Lance Storm one. I was like, oh, shit, Lance, hey. He got video messages from different people, including some interesting people over in New Japan. So in that, it kind of revved up again, AEW and New Japan working together again. The rumor wheels started rolling and everyone's wheels started turning. So question to the table is, what's one of your favorite Jericho moments? I think, once again, he's definitely in my top 5. So what's one of your favorite Jericho moments or favorite Jerichos? Because he's definitely he's one of the few that's been able to reinvent himself and still be Chris Jericho in the same breath.
I say my favorite Jericho moment, WrestleMania 19, Chris Jericho versus Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
Man. This is how you tell stories. Man. Like, the whole buildup was great. Like, I want to be just like you, Y2J. All of that. The match was great, even though that it was one with, like, a roll-up. But that's how you do the roll-up properly. You know, it wasn't done too much throughout the whole night. And at the end, you thought Jericho was going to turn face. But then he turned heel. He not heel. He maintained his heel status. Mm-hmm. Great match. And to this day, I can always go back, watch the program, and I see that, dang, it's so relatable on every level because we all have people that we look up to. You know, we all have people that we meet them and we's looking like, yo, I don't want to be like you no more. I want to be the first Jericho. And that story alone, man, I can relate to that, man. Like, low-key, man, I met Charlemagne, but one day, man, which I know, man, I'm going to surpass Charlemagne because I no longer want to be the next Charlemagne. I want to be the next Mr. Black and the only Mr. Black. And I could relate to that story I love the build-up, but mark my words, man. I'm going to be on Breakfast Club. I'm going to be the next I'm going to be the first Mr. Black. And at the end of the day, to me, that was the best Jericho. You know, from the pants. Oh, man. And my second favorite Jericho is when he came back and he wasn't talking. You know, everybody was upset. Why are you not talking, Jericho? Then he slowed down his speech, changed his attire, started wearing suits. So happily, everybody was copying his style. And now everybody, and he did the old school heel way. Don't sell my merch. I don't need no merch. I'm doing my way. He became Undisputed Tag Team Champion with Big Show. That run was amazing because that, to me, when I first witnessed the evolution of, yo, you could literally be the same character but tell your character in a different way. Mm-hmm. And I became a Jericho. Like, it took my fandom for him to the next level. If I meet Jericho, man, I might pass out.
That's what the goal was.
That's the only white man that I might pass out for.
Shit. Fucking Corona fucked that up for me. Those that are watching on the live feed, too, you can also put in your favorite Chris Jericho moments, matches, or things like that. Sir Wilkins, favorite Jericho moment?
Jericho, for me, was always I appreciated him as a character and his mic skills. One of the best Jericho moments probably was him and The Rock trashing Stephanie McMahon.
I'm not going to mention The Rock because he swear that The Rock is his dad. That's not our dad.
It's our uncle.
At all. No, it's not even that.
It's Uncle Rock. But like I said before, they literally went back and forth like a freestyle. One said a remark, the other person said a remark, and they kept going back and forth.
Shout out to Stephanie for being
Stephanie, people
being
gotta put some. I hate people that don't put respect on Stephanie McMahon's fucking name. She's been doing it big since Austin bumped into her in the fucking hallway on Raw. It was like, yo, did you see Taker? And she was like, I don't know, he went that way. That was her.
No, but yeah, it was because he came in and I know people will say different things like, oh, when he came in, he was buried right away, blah, 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 this and that, even though he became undisputed champion.
I was going to say he wasn't buried at all.
It was just, they should not put his match last. And then he was also going up against Triple H. And listen, it wasn't a good setup for him, but he became the first undisputed champion. But long story short, his back and forth was amazing. Now, my moment is when he went to New Japan and he reinvented himself again. You gotta love that shit. You truly gotta love a man that can constantly reinvent. It goes back to what you said. It's him constantly redoing himself over and over again. And stuff he did with Kevin Owens was classic. Oh my God,
boy, he put over a fucking list.
Yeah.
Who does that?
And
that was the second time he did that. Because if you remember, one of my favorite definitely is the fucking list, the 1,000 holes shit on fucking Nitro. And honestly, the feud him and Dean Malenko had is honestly one of the like classic cruiserweight feuds in that era, in my opinion, because literally you would have Dean. It was almost that whole like lost his smile thing and left and came back and then beat Jericho, and then Jericho sitting him, and then even going further, Jericho knowing that the company was going to shits, still put the best foot forward, and then had the whole feud with Goldberg and had the fucking personal security guy, and the guy had a crop top shirt that says security on it.
He died.
He did die. Rest in peace.
Oh, we have some few questions.
To Rufus.
By the way.
Okay, actually, yeah. Let's jump into
Let's not forget what you said about casual fans. You ain't low.
What are you talking about? I asked you that earlier. What are you talking about?
So we'll start with the casual fans thing. So I said on a post yesterday on whenever you see this on Facebook, I said the wrestling industry, wrestling companies need to start catering to casual fans more.
Okay. And
the reason why I said that is because that's how you get more money and more viewers in.
Okay, you want to get the people that it's kind of like window shopping.
No, but it's
you want to get the people that'll look and stop and then go in and see what's going on.
It's not even that. It's because wrestling is no longer growing as it used to be. Yes, the Attitude Era was a completely different era. Ratings are completely different, but we need to have more casual fans. Besides when it's WrestleMania season.
But do you think my issue with casual fans is they don't really put an investment in it. Not long term.
They actually spend more money though.
They spend I see it as they spend more money in the short term, but the long term they don't last.
The thing, but then you can convert at least. Let's say, for instance, you have 100 casual fans. You can convert 20 of them to be hardcore fans.
Yeah, but okay, I agree with you. But understanding that what we are going against. I compare it to NBA, right? Is everybody will always go back to, I started watching basketball when Kobe left. I started watching basketball when MJ left. Just like in wrestling. I started watching wrestling when The Rock left and Stone Cold left. All of that. I started watching wrestling when John Cena left. It's always a period when I stopped watching wrestling. Yeah. And you also got to go against these fake gatekeepers where, let's say Janelle don't know nothing about wrestling and she asks somebody, right? Hey, how do you feel about, such and such? WWE is trash. You used to watch New Japan, da-da-da-da. Okay, Janelle give New Japan a chance. She's looking like, this is boring. I don't want to watch this. And then she's turned off from wrestling. And you also got a stigma when it comes to wrestling. It's hard to get casual fans back into it because they hold the stigma, this is fake, this, that, a third, blah, 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 blah. It's easier to get. It's all about the person who's introduced the person to wrestling.
It's that, but it's also you said a couple of things, and I said this last week. If it looks realistic, more people will come see it.
But you also got the whole, like, and this is the one thing I hate about people always say that, oh, people are too small, this, that, and third. I'm looking like, yo, you gotta, it's all about the mindset. Because to me, people always say, somebody came up to me, right? He said, yo, I checked out AEW. They're kind of too small, blah, blah, blah. And I told him, like, yeah, but it's also a different way to present. It's the same product, but different way. He said, I never looked at it that way. I said, yeah. And he said that I saw Jericho, who just Kenny Omega dude. He looks pretty high. I was like, yeah, he's cool. He said, yo, I'm going to check him out.
But you said a key word. Kenny Omega. How does Kenny look? Kenny looks fit. Kenny's only about my height.
Yeah,
the one thing you're talking about when people say a guy looks small, they're not talking about size. It's just a guy doesn't look like he can beat somebody up. Because if you look at MMA, mixed martial arts,
the small niggas get
Izzy, for instance, Izzy, one of the top guys in MMA right now, small dude, ripped. He looked like he could fuck somebody up.
But let me ask you a question though. A lot of people always said that just because he's small, like, look.
But I'm not talking about size.
Let me finish. That's why I said I didn't get my point across. Let me shoot my shot first. Dang, let me
say it.
I'm saying this way is, yo, a lot of people, it's easier, like, it's hard to get casual fans back in there because they may watch for like a month or two. They spend a little bit of money. Not all of them will spend it because they don't feel as invested. And some people that, let's say you watch somebody who's a hardcore fan and they try to explain a storyline, and they might bash the product all the time on the internet. It's hard for a casual fan to get back into that if all these hardcore fans just always bashing the product.
You're talking about hardcore fans because most hardcore fans don't hang out with casual fans. What I'm trying to say is,
but it's like you talk just like in any form of media. Power Rangers, for example, right? Some people will only go back to watching Power Rangers.
I'm not talking about those people.
Ahead.
You're not understanding what I'm trying to say.
Go ahead.
What I'm trying to say is that casual fans are going to come back to a product that looks realistic. It's not about how big the guy is. Half the guys on AEW look like they've never been to a gym.
Okay.
They look out of shape. They can't beat anybody. One of the things that everybody says, and a lot of wrestlers say, is that you have to look like a fighter.
Okay.
And then there's an exception to the rule, like Kevin Owens. When MVP did his documentary, he looked at the dude. He was like, "Yo, bro, do you look like a fighter?" Kevin Owens can get over because of charisma. Half the time, a lot of stuff in wrestling and hardcore wrestling fans complain about it, doesn't look realistic.
Okay.
Because the reason why the Attitude Era was so over, people talk about, a lot of the guys look like wrestlers. I remember, I'll tell you a particular story. I was at Highland Park. I walked into Highland Park, and this is before we started doing the viewing parties. They had SummerSlam on the screen. And a dude is like, yo, wrestling is on. Yo, The Rock is there when The Rock came back for a little bit. And he's watching it. CM Punk walks out. And the dude was like, what the fuck? Who is that guy? And CM Punk is skinny fat. With tattoos. I'm not saying he can't beat nobody up. But if you look at it from a visual standpoint, he doesn't look any type of in shape. And the guy was like, yo, what the fuck is this? That is the problem. The visual representation. I talked about it last week. You have to think of stories that make sense and that are realistic. That's how you bring casual fans in. Because a lot of stuff that we say, we understand the whole mental part of it, the whole psychology, because we go deeper into it. A casual fan is on the eye point of view. When you saw Rock and Stone Cold go head to head, you're like, oh my God. When you see these wrestlers go head to head, it's a visual standpoint. Nobody's talking about a guy has to be 6'5", 250 pounds. They have to look like somebody that can fight. At the end of the day, we're looking at fighters because we always look at fighters on a top-notch level, on athletic level. Every time I look at an MMA fight, there's exceptions to the rule. Daniel Cormier. That's what I'm talking about. But on a visual standpoint, most mixed martial arts artists look like they can fight. That's what I'm trying to say when it comes to casual event. The storylines have to be realistic.
So what are some of the questions that are viewers?
I didn't get to even finish my point.
So what? Go ahead.
No,
I didn't know you didn't finish.
No, because he just dead killed my momentum. I was getting to my point. You just dead killed it.
Okay. All right.
I can't even, I'm a rhythm shooter. I got to get to my point, and you just dead cut me off. Now I forgot my point because you want to get your point across. Like, stop interrupting me.
But you didn't say anything.
I'm trying to make a point.
So say your point now.
Forget it now.
All right then. So we'll move on.
So what are some of the questions that some people have asked?
Some of the questions that people have asked is, and to go, I know Stan, you're watching right now.
Stan the man, you supposed to come Sunday.
You said that ROH guys are the smallest guys, but they get busy. Look at Jonathan Gresham.
They get busy, but they don't get, I think, the recognition that they deserve either.
But look at Jonathan Gresham. That man's neck is like as wide as my head.
But I understand that. But again, we live in a different era when it comes to people. Like, literally, I seen the most buffest guys, and a dude short, mad skinny, get busy and mess them up. Everybody had this whole syndrome where, like, people still have this old school thinking of how people are. We live in a different era where the guy could be mad fat, but yet in the ring, he gets busy. There's certain dudes that I present to people. They look like he has no charisma. And I show him the match like, yo, this dude is nice. Darius Carter. You think everybody just looking at him think that he gets busy in the ring? No. But yet, when he see his work, people say, yo, he gets busy. Stop looking at the whole situation. Like, you look at the fact that, yo, guys like me before I was fat, you can relate to it because you always was in shape. So you have this thing where like, yo, I kind of lean on the guys who's in shape, who look more realistic. I see it as, yo, I root for the underdog like CM Punk because he's the type of dude where, like, against all odds, he made it to the top. Dudes like Kevin Owens. Reason why Kevin Owens cannot lose that gut, because it's genetics. But yet, like you said, his charisma carried him over. Kimbo Slice, the buffest.
Kimbo, you can't use Kimbo Slice. Kimbo Slice is jacked.
Can I finish?
He's actually not
Can
alive
I
anymore.
finish?
Huh?
He's not alive anymore, but continue.
Can I finish?
Yeah.
Again, interrupting my point. Kimbo Slice, he was messing up dudes and bum fighting, all of that. Jacked as hell. Who knocked him out? A fat dude. Everybody's like, oh, shoot, this, that, and third. You, like, everybody will look at it. It's so traditional to, like, we got taught from the media where, like, a big guy puts a tradition, he win. I can even go back to the Bible days. Yo, my son, Goliath, not Goliath, David Goliath, yeah, Goliath, yo, tall, everything. David was, like, probably, like, 5'6", 5'10". He used his wits and brains and knock him out. Like, we all focus on telling a story one way, but then not realizing that there's many different ways to tell a story. Now go back to the conversation of casual fans. Yo, casual fans go in and out the product, but it only keeps, like, sometimes casual fans will watch for a couple of years, spend a couple of dollars, and they're out and never watch the product again. And that's across all media. Like, for example, some casual fans will not listen to the new D-Block stuff because they're so stuck in the past. So when D-Block has a reunion show and sing all their old classics, people rush in, buy it, and then they never go back to see the new D-Block albums. Or even G-Unit. Everybody love 50 in the club, but yet nobody hears his new stuff because they so stuck in the whole nostalgia. Nostalgia is something that is, nostalgia one hell of a drug. People always go back to nostalgia because it makes them bring back to the point, to the time where times was different, times probably been easier, and it always brings them back. To get new fans in, yo, honestly, you just got to do what's best for you, and maybe need to start telling a story a little bit differently all across the wrestling. ROH, reason why at one point I watched ROH, I never say anything, because I like the fact that, dang, man, I can relate to this guy.
I love ROH.
Like,
Someone, yo, whoever knows how to watch that tournament, please tell me. Please message me personally.
I can relate to that. You know, like, one of my favorite matches in ROH is CM Punk versus Samoa Joe. Two unlikely guys. When you see them in the street, you walk right past them and say, yo, they ain't about nothing, but they got busy in the ring.
So can I say something?
I mean,
can I say something?
I mean,
yes,
before we go, because you talk
the most. Go ahead.
Because you raised a couple of points. So we're gonna take your points that you just said. You said casual fans just come in and out. But the thing about a casual fan, you can convert a casual fan. From that 100 casual fans that you have, that 20% could be converted to a hardcore fan. That is one. Number two, what you just said is certain guys don't look a certain type of way. Samoa Joe, you just mentioned Samoa Joe, right? He looks frightening. Samoa Joe is a big dude, but is still in solid shape. Yes,
to you.
No.
But to someone else who looks at Samoa Joe, they said that he can't get busy.
Hold on, no. Because most people that see Samoa Joe, they see frightening. Because you know what? He's big, and he presents himself in a way as a fighter. That's what I'm talking about. If you're going to present a product, you got to present people as a fighters. So when Kevin Owens comes out, yes, Kevin Owens is the exception. But most big dudes, you're either big and you're tall. Viscera, Vader,
Nah,
hold on.
And Bam Bam Bigelow, they definitely are an exception to that rule.
Yeah, but the thing about it, they are big and tall, so you're frightened by that. So when you say that, but when you look at a guy like CM Punk, he's an exception because his mic skills is God tier level. So that's why he was an exception. So he had to sell you a little bit more.
Daniel Bryan.
Hold on.
Daniel Bryan had terrible mic skills at one point.
But the thing about
busy in the ring.
But the thing about Daniel Bryan looks in shape. Daniel Bryan looks like he could do something. I'm not talking about you got to be looking like Scott Steiner. You have to look like you can do something. And the thing about it's not about being ripped and you're taking it the wrong way. It's about being like you can fight and you can hit. At the end of the day, when you talked about Kimbo Slice, you talked about all these other things, you are right about those. But those aren't predetermined sports. Those are more on the entertainment side. The entertainment side is
UFC is predetermined?
I said they're not predetermined sports.
You said predetermined sports.
I said they're not predetermined sports. They are not. UFC is not predetermined. WWE is predetermined. And WWE is also part of the entertainment side that I spoke about. So when you're on the entertainment side and the predetermined side of things got to look a certain type of way. And they don't have to be a certain type of way, everything, because things do evolve. And the evolution is you got a guy like AJ Styles, who's my height. You got a guy like Cedric Alexander, who is my height. You got a guy like Daniel Bryan, who's also my height. But the difference between these guys, they are smaller guys. Yes, they are. But they look like they can do something. They don't look like a gym teacher that hasn't picked up a weight in 20 years.
I understand that, but the difference is off the rip, a lot of casual fans will look at AJ Styles back in the day to say he ain't about nothing. He had to press them with his ring work.
And the thing about it, that's the evolution about it.
But I think they would say
let
that
me
because...
Let me finish.
I didn't say anything.
Yo, this is why, I get why a lot of indie guys do a lot of cool moves because, a lot of them don't have the mic skills. A lot of them, some people look at them and ready to count them out. So they got to impress in the ring. They got to do all this stuff to say, ooh, I want to see this person again.
But the thing about it's mic skills.
Era.
You mentioned mic skills, though.
It's a different era of presenting a product. Back in the day, you could put on Lex, on Lex right there. People automatically going to say, oh, Lex, he's that dude, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Now, you got to present guys differently. Now, on top of that, now we're evolving where you can do all these cool moves, but yeah, you gotta sell me. Why do you think that a lot of indie dudes just stay indies? Because they cannot sell themselves on the mic. A lot of them are not good on social media because a lot of them don't have that personality, bigger than life personality. At the end of the day, this is what I believe in. Regardless of size, sex, regardless how you look, if you could sell yourself, I'm talking about any entertainment, your money. For example, Travis Scott. Matter of fact, no. What's that dude? Little Uzi Vert. Reason why a lot of people like him because he appealed to a certain audience. His look appealed, but yet he comes up bigger than life with his cars, the way he talk, his music. He draws you in. You never expect that. You never expect that he had the amount of fans he have. Lil Yachty. The old head think that he's trash, but his fans, the millions and millions of fans, he's money. He has a whole endorsement by Nautica. Okay, but people say, oh no, that doesn't mean nothing. Soulja Boy. Yo, this dude was ridiculed by hip hop because he started the dancing with the hip hop. But now, years later, everyone is doing it. Because the fact that he appealed to a certain audience, he came off larger than life. So regardless of size, regardless of all of that, it's entertainment. Can you sell me? Can you convince me to watch me in the ring? Darius Carter. When I first time I see Darius Carter, right? I'll be real with you. I was like, yo, who did Stefan look in the face, looking Urkel, nigga, blah, 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 blah. But then I'm looking like, yo, his whole presentation was great. Darius Carter is skinny. Presentation came out. I was like, wow, okay. Now let me pay attention to what he does in the ring. He'll break down an opponent, submission after submission after submission. Sonny Kiss. Some dudes think that Sonny Kiss, I want this fruitcake in me, da-da-da-da. But yet, when you watch Sonny Kiss match, you looking like, oh, this dude get busy. He gets busy. What about even some females like Awesome Kong? Some people may look at her like, yo, who's this ugly girl on my screen? Blah, 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 blah. But yet, she presented, she did what she had to do on the mic, and in the ring, she was destroying these girls. It's all about your presentation. So bump all this size, bump all that. If you could sell me into the arena, you have my money.
So I'm
But
so I'm gonna close it out because I know we have to move on.
I didn't get to say
You
anything.
basically said what I just said, which is the presentation. So we're gonna go by the Sunny Kiss. Sunny Kiss is in shape. Sunny Kiss is probably one of the best in shape person in there. So she looks like a fighter. Awesome Kong looks like a fighter. You're saying what I'm saying. And when it comes to Darius Carter, once again, another exception to the rule. But at the same time, his presentation. He comes out looking like a fighter because he's small, but at the same time, he presents himself like a fighter. That's the biggest thing. He has the whole look, the whole thing. Everybody you just said presents themselves like a fighter. So the thing what I'm trying to say is that a lot of wrestlers are not presenting themselves as a fighter. So, like Stan just said, maybe Daniel Bryan will probably look like he can beat up, but if Daniel Bryan takes off his shirt, he's pretty jacked.
That jacket don't mean nothing.
I said, like I said before,
that jacket does not mean nothing.
No, I'm saying what I'm trying to say is what you're not getting.
You up here?
No, what I'm trying to say is what
done.
you're not getting is that you're not presenting yourself as a fighter. That's what it is. One of the biggest problems in professional wrestling is that you can do a bunch of flip stuff, but you're not presenting yourself as a fighter. So we can move on because obviously you don't want to continue the conversation, and you can say your point, Miss Garcia.
You up here? You at 10 again.
All right.
Come down.
Any questions?
No.
And Stan said it. You got to look the part, or casual fans won't give it a chance to stay. But go ahead.
No, I just wanted.
I'm just reading what Stan said.
No, that's fine. Hi, Stan. Shout out to Talk of Champions. I just wanted to know what other questions that were on the viewers before we get into This Week in Wrestling. That's all I wanted to do.
So Varian Smart says, talk about how wrestling fandom be having people defending their favorite wrestlers.
Well, yeah, because
from weird shit that's against people's morals.
But that's any fandom.
That's
That's just not
that's
wrestling.
music.
Like, look at R. Kelly. To this day, people still defend him.
It's entertainment.
Period.
When you fall in love with a certain entertainer, you get biased.
There's nothing
There's
nothing wrong they can do.
Look at Kanye West. Like, to this day, I still defend him.
I don't care what nothing The Rock does. Rock can't do nothing wrong.
See,
I don't know about
I gotta lie.
If you touch little kids, you're alone. You're alone on that one. Like, I ain't defending him on that one. If anyone touch little kids, raping people, I ain't defending them. You're alone on that island. Like,
who said it was pedophilia? I said, for the most part, I don't believe in pedophilia. So don't say that. Don't throw me onto that. When I was joking about that, but when it comes to pedophilia, I take that shit very seriously. Because pedophilia is fucked up. And I would defend The Rock on that one. But when it comes to like stupid shit, like people trying to drag people,
oh yeah, of course.
I definitely will defend The Rock.
Yeah. Like I defend Charlamagne like if Charlamagne is my older brother. So I get it.
So another question is, this one's a good one. West Coast Pop said,
why does that name sound familiar?
Is there a such thing as too many near falls in a match?
If it makes sense for the story, then no. Sometimes when, for instance, what's a good example that I can think of? Oh, like when Keith Lee won the North American and the NXT title. They had, it felt like they had so many near falls in the match. Like you'll have Keith Lee do a pin, 2 count. You have, and they did each other's finishers. They did each other's like special moves. Like I don't watch, I don't play the video games, but when you like probably press R1, R2 and special moves and shit, they did all that shit out for the Great American Bash. And I felt like, that was probably one of the things I can think of now that had a lot of pinfalls, but it made sense to the story because it kept you. A lot of pinfalls, if it's done correctly, keeps you on the edge of your seat, which keeps you invested into the match. So I don't think there's a such thing as too many. If it makes sense, then it's not too many. If it makes sense, but if it doesn't make sense and niggas is just pinning each other for no fucking reason, then that shit don't make no sense.
I mean, at one point WWE did have too many near falls. They were sparing too much finishes at one point in WWE. I gotta say that. But back in the day, like you saved those for big matches. How many times did The Rock and Stone Cold spam each other finishes throughout the match? How many times Triple H did that to Catch a Jack? Like it's done in history so much for the
Taker and Kane when they first before I tell you one of my
like matches. Shawn Michaels a lot of his matches spamming finishes. So if it's done right,
how many super kicks are in a match?
Right. If it's done right, it's okay. Everybody just get a notion when, like, for example, let's say that one match has it, right? oh, they're spamming too much fans. People automatically say that they're spamming. This aren't talking about wrestling. I'm looking like, bro, they haven't done that in months. Like they try to correct their mistakes.
Yeah.
So, like, my thing is this way: you got to appeal to the hardcore fans, because if you never appeal to the hardcore fans, WWE commentary will still suck to this day. Like, storylines will not be as good as they are today. There won't be as much women's matches as they are today. Certain women, Becky Lynch will not become Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch became Becky Lynch because of Nia Jax.
First of all, yeah, but they elevate her, but the fans were behind her way before that. Stop.
They were, but Nia punching her in her fucking face definitely gave niggas that, oh, we own.
But
like,
still.
it was that one, you know, like when you get on a horse and you're going to put your one leg over before you sit on the horse? That
Let
was
me ask you a
fans
question.
were. Fans
Let
were
me ask you
one
a
leg
question.
in with Becky.
No.
They got
you
on.
wasn't in.
I was never on.
Wait, stop. Wait. Answer the question.
Niggas got on when Nia punched her in her face.
Answer the question. You think that whole image would have worked if the fans was not behind it before that? It takes some kind of momentum.
Nia punching her elevated her in that man character.
Again, you think it would have elevated her if she had no momentum behind her?
She had enough momentum. No. I said, but I agreed with you. But people agree with you, you don't listen. I agree with you. I said she had the momentum. I said people already had 1 foot in on Becky Lynch before Nia
I don't know
punched
about
her
you,
face.
but the fact that the pop that she got against Charlotte, that was not one fan in, one fan out.
That was the point when SummerSlam happened and she punched Charlotte in the face and basically said, fuck you, I'm on my own. That's when the 1 foot went in. That's when everybody was like, oh shit.
Nah.
Nia punching in her face, niggas went all in.
I've been a fan of Becky Lynch
but
forever.
That's you.
Let me finish. Again, you think that would have worked with her and Charlotte if the fans was not behind her before that? It takes some kind of momentum to get from point A to point B to point C. If no fans was banging with her before Charlotte, because Charlotte was presented as the face in that. If no fans were behind it, they would not be cheering for her. Because throughout the feud, they was cheering for her like, yo, you right, you deserve this. Again, it takes some kind of momentum.
I disagree with you on that.
When she became SmackDown champion, the whole arena erupted because they was behind her. And then how they was booking her, they was playing her and stuff like that, she still had fans. None of it would have not worked out if one fan was in one side. There was fans, this hardcore fan that was in all the way since the beginning.
And that's fine. I'm not disagreeing with you on that, my love. I'm just saying that from my point of view, because this is an opinion-based show, my point of view was the fact that when it happened at SummerSlam, it gave her that momentum, and she carried it all the way to WrestleMania season. I agree with you on that.
What's so funny?
Saying that.
Stan, I hate Stan from talking champion. You talking bad shit.
Light-skinned niggas talk shit all the time.
Bruce said Janelle is right to me. Adrian B. Brown. Shout out to Adrian B. Brown. I've never seen you put on this, but thank you for jumping on. He said SummerSlam was the marks only. The punch to the face put almost everyone on board.
That's all I'm saying.
And then,
I'm not disagreeing and saying she didn't have the momentum.
Mr. Stones from Dirty Heels said, been a Becky fan since day one.
Thank you.
Stan Michael said, Nia made Becky matter.
I don't know about that.
She did. She when Nia punched her in the face,
That's just getting pinned to the top.
And the way that the camera zoomed in on Becky Lynch's whole nose being broken, that elevated her.
Yeah, I get that, but
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
That's all I'm saying.
All I'm saying is, damn, what was the original argument?
Listen, at the end of the day, it was a combination of the hardcore marks
don't call me a mark.
The hardcore marks.
You didn't say that.
And
I ain't part of that mark group.
So it was the hardcore marks and the casual fans. Because this is what happened. This is literally what happened. And I always mention this story. Me and Janelle were at, was it Raw or SmackDown? After SummerSlam.
SmackDown. She was on SmackDown.
SmackDown. It was SmackDown. And
that was the one was it the new
yes,
one?
it was
Yeah,
SmackDown.
it was
but we went to both.
We went to both.
But so Becky comes out and literally she's supposed to cut a heel promo and the entire arena is cheering for her. So that's when like hardcore fans are put in. Now, casual fans come in when Nia punches her in the face. Because at this point, that shirt when that whoever was the camera guy or whoever's working in the truck,
whoever production wise at WWE,
because they instantly zoomed
you
in
got
on her.
the shirt.
You
have it.
I got the one where she's in jail.
No, you have. Yeah, he has the one. She's in jail.
Okay, someone has that.
I gotta make that shirt.
So and then
I've seen it on someone.
You see the face because WWE production is fire, and then instantly casual fans, because around this time this is Survivor Series, right? Yeah. Casual fans usually come around this time where they watch Survivor Series, Royal Rumble. So then that shirt is going viral. That picture is going viral, and a casual wrestling fan who still keeps up here and there is like, oh shit. So I think it was the even medium of both.
It was a fucking
that
hurricane.
threw her to like the moon.
It was the creation of a hurricane.
But the good thing about Becky Lynch is she has so much good body of work.
But that goes back to
it added the seasoning. You like to say the sazon. It added the sazon to the whole storyline. Because of her
Mixtape Becky was fire. Mixtape Becky was fire. You know, I'm the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion. Oh, that was a fire mixtape. That was a fire mixtape. I forgot it at WrestleMania. Another fire mixtape.
And another.
But you know what? You gotta admit the punching in the nose was the hottest.
I mean, you know that was her that was her old country road right there.
Like I want her.
Nah, that was she. She had one single out. Okay, if we're gonna talk music.
That's like
her first mixtape was I'm the first ever women's champion on SmackDown. Her second mixtape was y'all forgot me at WrestleMania. Remind me.
No, that wasn't a mixtape though. Because the thing about it, I wouldn't say that's a mixtape. I say she got signed at that point.
Becky Lynch like getting punched in the face.
You know what? Yeah.
I got bros in Atlanta. What's the nigga name?
Designer.
Yeah, that was her Designer song.
That was.
It's really her second single, but that's the single that blew up.
Yeah,
the first single
the
did
freshman
good.
album didn't do well, but then she still was signed, and they gave her a sophomore album, and it was a banger.
The next question, which is going to go into this wrestling,
awesome,
is Ali being the leader of Retribution.
I'm gonna say this.
Supposedly,
all y'all do is that say that Ali's a terrorist. Suck my dick, like dead seriously. Suck my dick.
You could have just said
that. No. I'm sick and tired of people calling my Muslim Americans, my Middle Eastern, the people that who look like don't look like us.
Is from the hood. He's from Chicago, Illinois.
It doesn't matter though. These are my brothers.
He went to high school with all white people.
All I'm saying is this though.
Shout out to Angie. Angie was in high school with his brother.
Yeah, but
in Chicago.
All I'm saying is this: like all my Middle Eastern people look like those are my brothers right there.
But low key, that's a mixture of ignorance and WWE's track history. It's a mixture of both because their track record.
Don't put on WWE on this time.
No. It's their track record of always making the brown man look like the terrorist. They've done it so many times in history. When they did it to Iron Sheik, they did. Then they had. He wasn't brown, but then they had Sergeant Slaughter become the traitor and the Benedict Arnold, and then they had anyone with the last name Muhammad or even when Khalid started, it was a weird time.
I'm not going with that. I'm going with my brother on this one. So. First of all,
I think it's a mixture of both.
No.
Oh, Jinder?
No, Jinder was portrayed as a terrorist.
He wasn't.
Jinder was portrayed as
when he came back the first time around because he was with two other white niggas. No, he was not. But when he came back with the two little brothers.
I didn't see it as a terrorist.
No,
I didn't see it as a terrorist.
But people call him a terrorist.
But that's what I'm saying.
No, people just racist.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Racist.
They're ignorant and they're racist.
It's not about because the storyline presented for Jinder was never on some terrorist shit.
It was like on some I got the championship.
He was a championship. Yeah. He wore a suit.
But they hate seeing a brown.
He was wearing a suit, and the thing about it, shout out to all my people from the Singh community. That's how they dress. Yeah. They have their turban on and they have a suit on. That's the culture.
And one thing I hate about it is not one time they use the word terrorist and retribution in the same sentence until my son Mustafa Ali came on board.
And the thing is also
he said get him. I was like,
and the thing also it's not portrayed as a terrorist type of thing.
Not.
Because if you think about it, look at it, it's he was a computer hacker. If they're gonna continue that, he was hacking the computers. They moved to that, and the thing is, it's just a group that's destroying the inside of WWE.
And you call him a terrorist.
And the thing about if you want to call it, the Nexus was a terrorist.
Correct.
Correct. I'm gonna just say this.
I agree with that.
I hate the fact that.
I agree with
I
that,
hate
though.
the fact that, yo,
They were.
real talk, America did people from the Sikh community, the Muslim community so dirty after 9/11 because you have people that wearing the traditional turban getting beat up, cab drivers
Ignorant.
getting beat up, all of that because you said that, shut up, Bin Laden, I'm gonna beat you up, this, that,
But
and third.
Americans, but what
is
kills
so
me,
dumb.
hold on, but what kills me though is that Americans won't sit there and
call KKK.
criticize. They won't criticize American-born terrorists though, because that nigga that did the Oklahoma City bombing,
A terrorist.
That nigga was a terrorist,
A domestic
and
terrorist.
He was a domestic terrorist, and America don't look at domestic terrorism like it's nothing.
Thank you.
They look at it like, oh, it's just another feel in the day. Fuck that.
I got
that
this.
shit pisses
I'm
me
gonna
off all the
action-
time.
I'm gonna add
'Cause I
I'm
like
gonna add action to the cake.
documentaries.
I'm gonna action to the cake. You chilling there at the crib, you know, like you in Baghdad chilling there. You on right, you chilling there. Next thing you know, you see a bomb that bombed your whole village. Who's a terrorist then?
But and that's the point. But Nathan Terry, shout out to Nathan Terry for watching. He said Ali's a liberator. That's the whole. And I love that word he just said. It is, and also
Righting the wrongs, because that's what that hacker shit
Yeah.
kept talking about.
Yeah, righting the
He kept
wrongs
talking
of-
about
yeah, and
how,
then you're doing
how we couldn't get the opportunities other people kept getting, and then what was it, T-Bar, Fee-Bar, Mace, all them, Mace
their real
and
name.
Bethel, whatever them
Say
niggas.
their real
is.
name.
Dominic Jakovic.
Yeah.
'Cause that's who the fuck it is. When he said the same thing the hacker said. He said the opportunities that should have been given to us have never given to us, and now we're gonna take what's ours and blah blah blah. Like,
How many
at the
groups?
end of the day, it's a fucking
How many
storyline.
groups had the same message?
Come on.
Nexus had the same message. The Nation Domination had the same message. The Heart Foundation had the same message.
Oh, the Heart Foundation, them niggas was tight.
But the thing is, and this is the sad part about it. If I'm WWE, I'm tiptoeing on that line, and I'm gonna tell you why.
It's money.
It's money. Because you know what? You see this conversation we just had,
Now
and the
niggas
people
is gonna tune in.
and the people that are in our comments right now. The reason why, because it's gonna hit an emotion. And we're a little bit way past the whole 9/11 thing. It's been years, but it still affects the people today.
Yeah.
People, especially people who lost the people
Yeah.
during that time on both sides of
Yeah.
the coin. But don't make him a terrorist. But him be like, okay, lean on the fact that he's trying to change something. That liberator thing, this new world, lean on that heavy. And the thing is also, people keep forgetting, Ali was supposed to be where Kofi was until he got injured.
So he got injured.
So, and I'm gonna keep it real. I'm a huge Ali fan.
Oh, I've been a fan of him since Buddy Murphy. Buddy Murphy.
Yo,
was
fucking
Muhammad.
love Buddy. Yo, the matches they would low-key have on 205 Live. And and it was funny because it'd be weeks that like we will record. This was like season 1 and 2 or whatever. And we would record and we wouldn't talk about 205, but this nigga over here would talk about 205, and then now I have to go back and watch 205 Live because this nigga done talked some wild shit. And I was
All
like,
I'm
let me see
saying
what
is
he's
this.
talking
All
about.
I'm saying is the same exact way. I'm gonna talk to the same exact way that as a black person, you know, when nobody call you out your name, call you like a burnt toes, call you a token.
Burnt toes?
Trust me, I heard all these racial jokes from white
Burnt
people.
toes?
Yeah, burnt toes.
I ain't hear from white people. I heard from, never mind.
Yes,
Not
yes,
talking
let me
about
finish.
dark-skinned
Yeah. Let me finish. The same exact way you don't want to call nobody call you a nigga. It's the same exact. There be some black people call these people from the Sikh community, Muslim community, terrorists. So my thing is
That's
this way:
ignorant.
if you want equality in this world, you gotta want it back to you.
It has to start with you.
Like I never call Mustafa Ali a terrorist because at the end of the day, I could be a terrorist.
I honestly,
Like, if
right,
I shoot
anybody
up,
can. The
yeah, but
fuck?
be a terrorist.
If you go into a like the nigga that went into, unfortunately, that either goes to a movie theater or to a fucking school
Terrorist.
or shit like that.
Terrorist.
That shit is terrorism.
the guy who went to the church.
fucking how do you bomb a fucking marathon?
The guy who went to
Like,
the
what the
church
fuck?
of a black church, they prayed for them, chill with him. You killed all of them. You're a terrorist.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta know the difference.
But the
You gotta know the
media would
difference,
never
ladies and
portray him as a
gentlemen.
terrorist because it's run by people who don't look like us.
Right? Or they're real Americans and then come on. the
But
bullshit.
somebody mentioned
go ahead.
about Brody Lee. Thoughts on Brody Lee losing his title?
Let's talk about it because
Did you
I'm
watch AEW?
pissed.
Of course.
I am pissed. Now,
it was a good match, though.
It was a good match.
It was a really good match.
I don't care for Cody always fucking bleeding. Hold
on. Before you guys go deep into this,
I'm gonna go.
I fucks with Cody, man. He puts on some good matches, bro. Like you can't deny it.
No, I'm not gonna deny
he
that.
Really is good. But go.
Cody is his father's son, 110%. He is Dusty's son to the fucking max. Fullest. And I can appreciate that because that's a mixture of old school and new school. Cody does that very well. However, if you are sitting in that AEW bubble and not think that Cody did not pull the
Terry
card,
do not hold the same weight. Whoa.
Let's finish this.
That's racist, regardless of what it is, though. Nigga, you call a black person nigga from that's still the sort of same way. There's both racist terms.
Oh, you're placing that negative connotation on someone, so that's the same. Yeah. Okay. Back to Cody and Brody Lee. So
that was a good match.
Very good match. Once again.
But before we go in there, my man Will Hobbs. Oh, the beefy match.
How do you want me to go into Cody and then you talk about
Will Hobbs, that beefy match? The beefy boy match? Yo, it literally was beef versus beef. And then more beef. And then more beef.
Black beef versus white beef.
It was white beef versus
continue. I'm pausing. And I'm pausing the entire.
It was really the beefy man match. Listen.
Just like, first of all, if you're going to talk about beefy matches, you're going to talk about Braun Strowman versus Keith Lee.
That was a whack beefy match.
It was a whack beefy match.
Because they ended in a count out.
But hold on. Before.
But them niggas went in though. And then y'all know I love me some Jamie Noble. So you know when Jamie Noble come out, it's serious time. It's serious time.
But listen, my man Will Hobbs. Shout outs to Will Hobbs. I'm gonna keep shouting this man out. Because you have to understand.
Somebody tag this nigga in any video we do, tag him in it.
You have to understand is that they're using him right.
But then they don't use the nigga that they put a whole title on right.
But I don't care about him.
It's a good story.
I don't care. But the thing about it now, Taz is trying to make Will Hobbs join. You got Ricky Starks with a shirt on out.
Y'all know.
Rick Ricardo.
Y'all know I fucks with. Y'all know I fucks with Ricky Starks.
Yeah, his shoes. Yo,
I fucks with Ricky Starks.
Yo, hold on.
That's a superstar in the making. I kid you not.
Fashion Awards with Miss Hearts. Ricky Starks is a fly dude.
Oh yeah,
straight
he's
fly.
Like top 5 for me.
No, he's top 10 for me. I got a couple of dudes in front of it. I'll put the list together. We would put a list together. But hold on, the shoes, bro. No, and no socks. Perfect combination with the ankles out. With the ankles out. He put lotion on.
Summertime, Sir Wilkins. That's what you do.
Oh man.
But going back to the dog collar match.
It was good.
It was a good match. My issue is you build up, and I've said for everybody knows, I have my grips about AEW, and this is how I know the word. That's how I know 2020 is a wild world because literally, shout out to Quintus Brown. Day one, Job of Tears podcast.
Shout out to Quintus.
Definitely my arch nemesis in the wrestling world. But for both of us to agree, something is going on. Something is going completely wrong that AEW is doing. For me and Quintus Brown to agree on one thing, because we never agree on anything. And the fact of the matter is that you build up AEW, you build up Dark Order to be in this stable of where they win, they don't lose, they build up, they got numbers, strength in numbers. You build up this montage of a group that I actually enjoy. Every week we talk about AEW, I always say Dark Order is my favorite thing on AEW. Still, to this day, until you have a match where you have the leader and you build him up and you gave him the title. He beat Cody. Cody comes back a week ago. Black hair, and it's something me and Zook talked about last night.
That's his natural hair color.
No, but he came back black. So what me and Zuka spoke about, shout out to Zuka King. He called me last night and he was like, yo, the one thing that I did not like, and when he said it, I said, yo, facts, is when Cody was blonde, he was the good guy. He was the company guy. He was the guy that everybody turned to. He was the guy that, he was the good guy. Him going back to black and nothing changed. Why the fuck did you do that? Like, if you're gonna change the look,
story,
everything,
chill, mama.
everything should follow through.
Chill, mama.
But my issue was putting the fucking title back on him for what reason? And if you want it, and I get it, let's sit and wait. He's fighting Orange Cassidy next week on AEW for their 1 year anniversary show and all this jazz. But you build up Brody Lee to being this top heel in the business, in the company. Top heel in the company. and he loses the title to Cody. Now, what does that do to Brody Lee?
It does. It like at the end of the
It
day,
literally erased, to me, it erased everything that the Dark Order was built. The foundation of the Dark Order was built on.
Y'all don't say nothing when WWE does it. Like they did it to Kane. Kane beat Stone Cold in the first blood match. The next day he lost the title. But
I mean, they did it. They did the same thing to your boy Zack Ryder. So it's
they in wrestling they do it a lot of times. It's all about the destination. Do I think Cody, as far as bigger plan, he learned all his fan in being the baby face? I'm a Cancer. Me and him had the same birthday. Me, him, and Tyson. Dang.
That makes so much more sense, huh?
It does. No wonder my personality goes up and down. But that's a whole other situation.
Up and down.
Like, Cody's a Cancer. I understand him. He gonna lure everyone in and turn heel.
But
That's the point of luring people in. And listen. I understand that. But at the end of the day, look, Brody Lee still looks good in my eyes. It's storytelling. It's just one match, one loss. I bet you 4 years from now, half people will not even remember that.
No, niggas will remember that shit because of the type of match that it was and the fashion that it was.
Keyword. I said half the people will remember. Some people will remember it, but some people not going to. Look, all I'm saying is this way.
So wait, my question to you then next week on AEW Dark and those that are watching, who's the face and who's the heel? Because this is the same issue because they fought before. They did the same
They're
match.
not fighting next week.
No, they aren't. Orange Cassidy versus Cody for the TNT title. They had that match before, and it was the same conversation we had that episode where I was like, who's face and who's heel? And
What's
we
the
both
best
were like,
way? I'm going to say
I don't
this.
know.
Mark my words.
So I gave you the same question. Who's going to be face and who's going to be heel?
I'm going to explain to you why. What's the best way to get heel heat? Janelle? What's the best way? That's the cheapest, easy way to get heel heat in wrestling. You go against the favorite guy and you beat the crap out of him. Listen, it's all part of the bigger story.
Oh, but he did. But did he not beat the crap out of Cassidy the first time?
Can I say
he didn't
something?
get any heel heat off of that?
Can I say something?
Because no, he didn't.
He didn't.
But it was a different kind of Cody. You don't know what Cody gonna do next week. How you know that Cody comes out and then he just do some like real heel tactics? He gotta get the fans on his side so when the heel turn comes, it's even bigger. Like Jericho, when I mentioned earlier with Jericho, when he came back, all the fans were cheering for him. He turned on the fans like that.
I think one of the biggest things for me is that you mentioned Zack Ryder, you guys mentioned Kane, and you are right. They weren't kept the title long enough, right? But the one thing about Brody is that he's the leader of an organization.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things about.
You killed the entire foundation of the shit.
I don't think they killed the entire.
Killed it.
I don't think they killed the entire foundation of it, but it does hurt it a little bit in some levels. Now, I'm thinking of this more in a comic book type of sense.
Yeah.
Where he should have lost coming back and then win it after.
I agree.
Like, you know what I mean? Just to build it up a little bit more for like another episode, another part 2 of that shit, because it will work out that way.
Yeah, he came too quick.
Yeah. Yeah, and
I'm sorry, that's just so
and then
funny.
I
Never
think
tell me that.
And then I think that was the bigger issue in the situation where you have somebody that he just came back. Now let's build it up a little bit more. And I don't mind him losing the title, but I think it should have been next week. It
Literally,
should have done.
the Dark Order beat the shit out of Cody and all his family.
Or you know what?
And he came back
or you
and
know
won.
what? Don't put him in a match for 3 weeks. Have him messing around, blah, 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 blah. If you want to have Cody be this Dark Knight type of thing coming in and stuff of that nature, because they don't really believe in heels
At
or
all.
faces. And I was reading something that kind of broke it. They broke it down into more of a comic book sense, how Marvel doesn't believe in heels or faces or bad guys. It just they want to show a more realistic version. Like, you have your bad days. Like, we all have our heel days. So that's what they want to put it as. So when it came to Cody and Brody, they shouldn't have been in the ring together. They should have elongated it until Full Gear. Don't put them in the ring. Have them do segments with each other. Have
them beat up each other.
Exactly.
Beat up their crew.
But I would have more Cody chasing for it to build up Brody.
He's a better chaser.
Yeah, and but also
correct. And but the thing is, his entire career he's been that way.
But the thing is
Career.
also build Brody up as this evil leader. Like, Brody should never have touched Cody until November.
I agree.
because that adds suspense to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because now you have this dog collar match. Imagine the build up to the dog collar match.
at
If they
Revolution?
would have had
at
Full Gear,
At
Oh,
Full
Full Gear,
Gear.
sorry.
At Full Gear, which is like the first week in
I
November,
would have
correct?
preferred.
Yeah.
Now
that
a whole
happen.
4 weeks, a whole 4 week program of them going back and forth. Them doing things with Dark Order. I mean, you could do stuff like him kidnapping Brandy. Him doing stuff. Sometimes the in-ring stuff doesn't need to happen.
I say this. I agree with you. Let's have this conversation when we do a review for Full Gear. Because I'm like right now, we don't know how this story's gonna turn
I don't.
out.
Next week is there, once again, AEW's 1 year anniversary show where they have FTR versus Best Friends for the tag titles, 60-minute time limit. They have Cody versus Orange Cassidy for the TNT title. They have finally Lance Archer coming back from COVID versus John Moxley. And they have another match too. And then they also announced that they're doing a tournament. So they're doing a few different things. But personally, I did not like the fact that Brody Lee lost. And I did not like the fact that Cody ended up being the champion again. Because I need to see I need to see the end game on that. For me to go back and be like, you know what? I can see why. Because we do that in wrestling. Like, we'll judge, and then once it all plays out, we're like, oh, you know what? That makes sense now. So I want to do that. I want to be able to go back and be like, oh, you know what? That makes sense.
So let's go back. We'll put a pin on this conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I want to talk about the return of Ember Moon. And I want to talk about TakeOver real quick.
Go ahead. We're going to say about her hair this time.
No. I put a little spoiler because I was like, wait, I need everyone to tune in and to hear what I had to say about Ember. So, but before I do, real quick, what are your thoughts on after TakeOver? NXT TakeOver 31 happened this past weekend, where it seemed like all the champions kept the title. So Damian Priest defeated Johnny Gargano. You had Kyle O'Reilly versus Finn, and Finn retaining, unfortunately breaking his jaw in 2 places. So that happened. And then Io Shirai retained her NXT women's title, but then she got a few surprises at the end of her match where I thought it was a phenomenal package that they did with Tony. Shut up, stupid. What they did with Toni Storm and her returning and her coming back on the NXT brand and not NXT UK. So I think that's really interesting in the route that they're going. And then you had the motorcycle thing, and I was just like, we were all standing there after we took tequila shots. We were all standing there, and we were like, who the fuck is this? And I was just so confused. And then fucking Ember Moon's face popped. I was like, what? Like WWE, I give like this whole like you never see it coming shtick that they've been.
Big dick status.
They low key have been keeping it like legit.
Big dick status. Yeah, listen. Overall,
because I didn't see that coming.
I didn't see it coming. I'll be real with you. I'll be mad real with you though. I watched NXT, but I was half watching it because it was just great to be around people.
Yeah, like it was one of those. Like,
it was one of those things.
It was one of those things. Like
yeah.
I like certain moments I remember, certain moments
Yeah.
I didn't. I was preoccupied.
Yeah, talking to people, taking
I wasn't
shots,
worried about nobody
smoking,
with one person. Like it just was.
Shout out to Battle Club. I mean, shout out to Banner Club. You know, my son's 6.
That's
my guy.
And Tevin.
Tevin. But overall, like, it was good. It was good. It was great. Like, yo, shout out to the arena. The grittiness.
The graphics.
Yo,
and I was glad they kept the
son.
same setup for NXT, like the actual like show.
Yo,
so I'm
my
actually
thing
I
is
like
this
that
way.
they did that.
Honestly, yo, the combination of NXT, combination to the pandemic era, combination to the Thunderdome era to make one.
Yeah.
Yo, you saw like the gritting. You saw like the
They
gates
had
around
actual,
there.
they had actual
and you
people
saw
in
fans
the
like
stands.
this.
You
Yo,
had the Thunderdome.
It reminded me
It was
of
dope.
Def Jam 5 for New York. It gave me that gritty feeling. And honestly, listen, I'm a big fan of NXT to this day. I've been watching NXT since my son Tyson Kidd was on there, Natalia was on there, since Cesaro was a Cesaro back in the day. Honestly, NXT TakeOver, it was all ups. A few, like, any downs? No. Great story, everything. And even this week, Ember Moon, shout out to you, Queen.
So, let's talk about Ember though. So, everyone always knows I go off on her hair because to me,
It look nice.
to me, presentation as a
They
woman of
presented it.
color means something in this business, in this industry, because we don't have that many to represent us, and we don't have that many that look like us. So for me, it always wasn't. Everybody would think like, oh, I'm just talking shit about her hair. It's not only the hair; it's just the presentation as a whole, as a woman of color. So for her to come back, I can say, because I've never been a fan of the side cast. That's what I call it, the side Cassie haircut shit on the side. But her hair was on point. Her hair was laid on Sunday and on
She
Wednesday.
got a nice shape up on the side.
Like whoever did
Damn.
it, she must have called up Naomi's chick in Orlando and was
no,
like,
no,
"Yo,
no.
sis, hook me up." Cause that's what that shit looked like. So she looked the part. I could do without the whole. Cause to me, I felt like she gave me Thunderdome vibes. Like if you ever watch,
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
if you ever watched the movie Thunderdome, that's exactly
I know that
how
was a
she
movie.
looked to me. So I was just like trying to give her a pass on it, cause I could do without the shit on the face and blase blase.
It's from a video game.
But my only thing is her mic skills, baby. It is brutal.
Listen, Janelle, like I said
It is
before,
brutal.
when people was making fun of Private Party talking on the mic, you got to get people reps. You got to get people out there to embarrass
so
themselves.
brutal.
You learn from it. How else
And
you
I
supposed to
want
get
her
better?
to learn, and
Look,
I want her to
how are we
grow.
supposed to get better?
No, I want her to learn. I want her to grow, but she has to take into account, like, if you want me to take you serious, every 2 words you shouldn't be laughing and giggling about it, like that. And I just feel like that's just simple conversation. Like if I want you to take me serious, you're gonna take me serious talking to you like this. Would you take me serious when I'm like, So don't be, talking to me like, like that's just to me a little common.
Straight up, like, what's wrong with you, girl?
But that's exactly what she did on NXT.
But
she did the exact same thing.
What it comes down to is 2 things. Some people got it. Some people got it. Some people just got mic skills.
Enzo.
Steve, The Rock, Jericho.
No, only mic skill. I'm talking people who have the whole.
No,
package.
I'm talking about
No,
you
just
just
mic.
you just got mic skills. Like, and I always talk about
Joe,
CM Punk, like
Those are pre-packages. Yeah.
but what it is that's your flaw. You've been out for this long. You kind of should have done some work on that.
like that's some like shit you practice in the mirror.
Yeah, or you should have went to like
Legit.
you should have. It's a pandemic going on. I don't know
I
what.
forgot she was injured. You're right.
Yeah, so she was out for 10 months, right?
She said 14 months.
Before the pandemic, she was
So
out.
she was out 14 months. She tore her ACL. 14 months out.
I thought it was the what's the name, the thing that what's the name had Xavier, but it wasn't. Okay, that's
It was
better.
something like she's been out.
So she said it. And she said it in the
Wow.
promo. She said 14 months. I've been on the road. I've been trying to find myself. So I appreciated the whole like you taking me back to when you got taken out.
Yeah,
Because
Adrian.
I was like,
Adrian, shout out to that because Adrian said she even made a joke about them giving her the mic. She made a joke about that.
but
all right, Amber Moon. Like you know
But
what?
that's
throw
what
out the
I'm saying.
whole. Like throw out the like.
So
you just
my
killed
thing
it. You just
was,
killed it
so
for
my
me,
thing
Amber
was
Moon.
is when she was talking, and then she didn't know when. And I don't know if she like forgot the cue because literally when Eo's music hit, she still was trying to talk, and I was just like, sis, the word right before you said you should have just stopped, let Eo's music come in, and then when Rhea came in, she gave the whole like it just. I want better for her.
But, okay.
And I think she's on the right brand, period.
So what do you guys think then? So whose fault is this? Whose fault is that? Is this NXT's fault or is it her fault?
It's hurtful. Just
I think it's hers.
Like just like Janelle said.
Like, you're a professional.
You spent 14 months out.
Your ass should
right?
have been in the mirror for the last 6 months.
I'll give you an
acting
example
like you was about
of-
to come for the fucking gold.
I'll give you an example of someone been out. Seth Rollins was out for a minute, right? He came out. When we came back, different guy, different energy. His promo skills was better. All of that. Amber Moon came back. You looking like, all
the
right.
look is different. And honestly,
But it's
as
still
much
same Amber Moon. That's the problem.
on the mic,
She didn't
probably
evolve as a character on the mic.
did not. But hopefully, as time goes
You gotta
on,
wrap up soon?
things. But yeah, as time goes on, hopefully that I'm honestly speaking, regardless of anything of how she spoke on NXT
I'm
or
happy
anything,
for her.
I'm happy for her, and I'm invested into seeing how, because to this day, no one can't say that the women's division in NXT is the superior division of women wrestling, period. There's nothing else. You cannot convince me that any other brand has a better women's division than NXT, because the way that they incorporate, and honestly, that
Impact?
fucking,
You got Impact?
better than Impact in a sense overall. Like, Impact has their spots.
They got Warriors.
Where I can get jiggy with it, but then on a consistent, NXT has been consistently better brand for women wrestling.
They're second place.
And honestly speaking, your girl Raquel, when she kicked the shit out of Rhea, I was like, whoa. And they low-key positioning her to be in a top spot.
I got a question.
So I can appreciate the placement that's going on.
I got a question for y'all. Would it be bad? Would this be a bad investment if WWE made an all-women show?
No.
If they did it again, no.
No, it wouldn't be a bad.
It wouldn't.
It wouldn't be bad. It would be something really good. The problem is, it has to be a smaller venue.
It has to be intimate.
I would say they should do it at the Manhattan Center.
Yeah,
a small venue type of thing.
I agree.
And because then you wouldn't have to worry about selling tickets, because at the end of the day, wrestling fans for the most part misogynistic,
mad sexist. Someone said that. I remember shout out to Carter Pope of Whedon Wrestling. Like, he said that he's talking about AEW. He said, once again, you only have one woman segment, right? Then some guy came on talking about, oh yeah, ROH, da-da-da-da. And I was reading that. I was just like, yo, you just proving Carter's point that, yo, you don't cover enough women wrestling outside of WWE. We clown WWE for years about how they present women, but you got to admit, damn, listen to the fans. They elevate their women division.
It goes back to the beginning of the show. It's Stephanie McMahon.
Bars.
Stephanie McMahon has
put a click on the table.
Yeah. She's been really pushing for it.
Sorry.
For the women's division, blah, blah, blah. Supposedly, I learned this the other day. I don't know how true this is. This is a real chess move by Stephanie. But when she was messing with Triple H, and behind China's back, she was still trying to push for China.
I believe it.
She was in the writer's room pushing for China.
It.
Yo, China, honestly.
I believe it, though.
RIP to China. I felt that China was one of a kind.
Absolutely.
China was one of a kind from her presentation. And
Stephanie, if that was the truth, Stephanie was looking at it in a business point of view.
Yeah. That's one thing I have to say about the McMahons. From Shane and Vince, you may call Vince petty and all of that, but he allowed a lot of people back in.
Cheap plug. That is the episode on IG Live tonight. How petty is Vince petty?
Vince,
like, honestly,
I honestly want to be the level of pettiness.
Vince, like, he may have his petty moments. Vince does have his petty moments, but he does let back people. You have petty moments. Yeah. I have petty moments. Yo, listen, when I get petty, like, yo, I'm petty, nasty. You know, shout out to us not dedicating episodes to one podcast and talking trash. Shout out to us for that one. That was a petty move. Anyways, like I said before, the McMahons know money. For example, Vince getting beat up by Stone Cold all the time. That was money. Stephanie getting making fun of, like my brother mentioned, by The Rock and Jericho. That was money. You know, yeah, it was kind of awkward, but at the end of the day, that was money. Shane McMahon jumping off of stuff, getting beat up by other wrestlers.
They've been they forever taking one for the team. Period.
Taking one because they understand the business. Shout out to Linda getting embarrassed, but yet money. That storyline between Shane and Vince. Watch that. Was that WrestleMania 19 or 17?
When they had fucking Linda McMahon in a comatose state. Who does that?
Yo, she didn't say nothing.
And then she got him out of the wheelchair.
The whole arena erupted.
Who does that?
Storytelling.
That's family.
The whole McMahons, they understand entertainment. Like,
all right, so I didn't mean to cut you off because we gotta go.
Okay.
But real quick, as everyone knows, the WWE draft is coming up Friday and Mondays respectively. Basically, for every 2 picks SmackDown gets, Raw gets 3. They're getting a pool of, I think, 60 people. Those that do not get drafted are free agents and can sign to whatever brand that they want.
I love that story.
So my final question to the table, and those that are watching on the live, you can put it in the comments below too, and on YouTube, put in the comments. My final question to the table is, who will be the wild card for each prospective brand? So who's going to be the wild card to jump from SmackDown to Raw, and who's going to be the wild card to jump from Raw to SmackDown?
I think Miz goes back to Raw.
So I think I think AJ goes to Raw.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I already know that. Yeah,
he doesn't like.
Yeah, he does like Paul Heyman, and like he want to see his son's game. So that I don't call it as a wild card.
I see AJ Styles on Raw.
So quickly, I know we got to go. AEW is blaming WWE for COVID.
What?
All right.
Okay, this is not how I wanted to end the episode.
All right. I'm
sorry, my bad.
That's obnoxious as fuck. You're gonna blame what? Yeah. Anyway,
because they said that the AEW wrestlers are hanging out with NXT wrestlers.
All right.
Anyway, that's just stuff. But whatever. Once again, thank you guys for joining us this week on an interesting and hot and spicy episode of the Job of Tears podcast. Anything before I go? I can't think of anything. Once again, support everything that's under the Job of Tears brand, whether you like us or you don't like us, whatever the case might be. We appreciate everyone that does tune in and that does watch. Once again, you can follow all the shows, whether it's Cats and Dogs, Your Sports, the new 2.5 Bros, and the Mrblacc show, as well as, of course, the Job of Tears podcast show. You can catch us all under the network. We once again thank everyone for coming out this past weekend at Legends. Stay tuned for more information in regards to future viewing parties. As always, I'm Janelle from HR here with Sir Wilkins, and Mrblacc was here, but then the ridiculousness of COVID shaming happened, so he disappeared. But hashtag Black Excellence and hashtag we are out.
I was over, got the hands in motion. If you go with rolling, no need to focus. Traveling states and over oceans. You gotta wait till your coast chosen. Try to have lines outside the show like Harry Potter releases at Barnes & Noble.